good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
What's greetings, Earth?
Same genius time.
Any demographic I identify with.
I don't believe you murder.
I think an ignorant voter and a non-voter
crazy what he did. He took the military out
are
before
one and
he
the
took
same.
the civilians.
Same
Who does
genius
that?
channel.
Under his watch.
What
Know
has
something,
he done
bro.
about police reform in this country? Nothing.
Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to Unsolicited Genius. I am your curator, Carlton Ennis. On today's show, we will revisit Tennessee, talk a little bit about the NBA playoffs so far, and call me if you get lost. We hope to give you something to ponder. So before we jump into the agenda, itinerary, but the itinerary for the show, lots happened in the news over the weekend. Lots related to, surprise, surprise, gun violence. So I know the internet said that it is tired of us offering prayers and not solutions. But in the absence of a solution right now, I offer my prayers to the teenager who was shot in the head in Kansas City. He went to the wrong door to pick up a sibling, I believe. And the homeowner shot him. Don't know all the details. I do know he is alive, maybe even has left the hospital. So thankful for that. Prayers for his continued recovery. There was a Sweet 16 shots fired in Alabama. 4 kids killed. Prayers to their families. So sorry for your loss. I hope we as a country find a way to doing better. And Louisville was in the news a couple weeks ago for a mass shooting. In this instance, another shooting, Louisville, Busy Park, doesn't qualify for a mass shooting, the label mass shooting, because I think it's 4 or more. Well, let me not say that, because I don't know how many people were injured, but I do know 2 people were killed. And so that's just 3 of more that probably don't go reported. I don't know what else to say. I will vote for sure. When it's time comes relative to my beliefs on violence, gun violence in particular. But I don't know what else to do. I wish it would stop. I wish we didn't have to live in fear in this country. I wish guns didn't outnumber the citizens. I wish that they all actually got used for hunting. I wish they all got used for self-defense, which if there's nobody accosting you, there's nothing to defend. But that is not where we are. That is not who the country is. And so to those families that have been impacted this weekend, impacted over the decades, my heart truly does go out to all of you. And may your loved ones rest in peace. All right, so Tennessee is still in the news. I haven't heard much today, but we talked a lot about Tennessee last week. And so since last week's podcast, both Justin Jones and Justin Pearson have been reinstated into their legislative positions for the state of Tennessee, both being done by their respective districts, councils, commissions, I believe they still will have to run for their seats, but they're in there, they're helping, they're representing their districts, which is what they should have been doing all along. So a lot more probably to still unfold on that story, but suffice to say, Justin Jones, Justin Pearson have been reinstated. In addition, the House leader, Cameron Sexton, might be in a little bit of trouble. We don't know yet. Things will get played, will still have to play themselves out. But the one thing we know about the internet, if you give them a reason to find out more about you, the internet will find out more about you. And so Cameron Sexton he represents a district 2 hours away from Nashville, the capital. That should be his residence. But according to reports, he's never there, and his family, wife, kids live in Nashville. So they go to school in Nashville, near Nashville. So in essence, he is in violation of the jurisdiction rules, and he's been charging the state the 2-hour drive to and from Nashville to a place he don't go, upwards of $90K. So he was the one spearheading the expulsion of Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, but he has now also exposed himself. We're not in the rumors. There's documentation on that stuff. He got some other stuff that might be going on with a lobbyist, and he married, she married, and all that stuff. Hey, don't know nothing yet. But in his pursuit of Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, he is now exposed. So more to come on Tennessee, I am sure. Fort Lauderdale, a lot of rain. Are y'all all right? People say they are dry-ish, but I do know that 25 inches of rain in a small amount of time will put anybody, any city, in some flooding trouble. But it seems that Fort Lauderdale, in addition to the rain, in addition to the flatness, in addition to, I guess, whatever was going on prior to the rain, found itself in a heap load of trouble related to flooding. So everybody check in, mark yourself safe on Facebook if you are. Hope everything is drying out and that you all are well. Bud Light marketing to a younger demographic lost a lot of money in that they had a transgendered woman representing their brand. If you search the internet, you'll probably see a lot of conversation around people's reactions to Bud Light. Kid Rock opted to demonstrate his feelings by using an assault rifle to shoot up a bunch of Bud Light. Nobody's perfect to understand what Bud Light's CEO is intending. Want to reach a younger demographic, want to appeal to a broader market. Maybe it worked, but maybe they have appealed to that market, but we know that they also have turned off a portion of their market, a la Kid Rock. Now, from where I sit, Bud Light could do what they want. I myself prefer Peroni, but Budweiser, Bud Light, if you ever had a brew, has a place in your beer experience. That being said, I think the effort, I applaud. I think that it is indicative of a society that is not ready for all inclusiveness of all people, places, and things. It is a journey that we are on for sure. And it seems that Budweiser, in wanting to make that effort, we'll just have to spend some time understanding what it looks like for its brand. Kid Rock shooting up the Bud Light because he was not pleased with their use of a transgender woman as a spokesperson is ridiculous. I think it is indicative of some things he may be struggling with. It may be indicative of the struggles that the demographic base folks, people he represents, are struggling with. Because I say to you, why does a commercial make you want to go shoot something? We've just had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, give or take 10 plus 15 children inexplicably murdered by guns through gun violence for reasons that we do not understand. There's a problem. We know that. We know the shooters, what they say, guns don't kill people, people kill people. So we know there's a people problem that has resulted in senseless death. So Bud Light commercial make you want to go get out your gun and shoot something. Connect those dots for me, Kid Rock, or anybody. If you watch this show, you Kid Rock supporter, you think I'm talking crazy talk, send us a message, send me a note. Help me understand why a spokesperson in a commercial representing the brand as the brand asked to be represented pisses you off that you want to go get your gun and shoot something. Maybe that's part of our gun problem. Just my thoughts, but what do I know? What in the sports? The NBA playoffs are lit. No cap. I think that's the first time I've said that. Might be the last, but the NBA playoffs are lit. Shout out to my Miami Heat, 1, for getting in, 2, for winning game 1. Hero, gonna miss you, my dude, but if you're on the bench and you being the best cheerleader you know how to be, and you cheer your boys through round 1, we will see you again before these playoffs are over, I hope. I would hate for this to be how your season ends, Tyler. I fussed about you. I fussed at you. You probably didn't hear me a few times, but you are a member of my Miami Heat. You do play your butt off. And so I hate that you went out like that. And for those that don't know, Tyler Hero in Sunday, last night's playoff game, broke a finger. He will be out 4 to 6 weeks. Giannis injured his back. I am a competitor, so I want, even as a fan, I want the best of my opponent's best, win, lose, draw. So he did not finish the game. I don't know quite what his status is. It might be day to day. I believe the MRI came back okay about his back, but more to be seen, more to be learned. Right now, the Heat are up 1-0. Memphis, Ja, it's tough on your boy. It is tough on Ja. He did some of it to himself. We live, we forgive. But he too has injured a wrist that I believe was already injured. I have not heard his prognosis back. Lakers win. I don't think it's looking good for Memphis. Even with Ja, I think it may have been a struggle. The Lakers, for as much as they have been on TV this season, for as much as I am tired of hearing them talk about the Lakers, they played a heck of a game and looked like a heck of a team. So shout out to the King. He's still doing it. I always will have love for the King, even if he gets on my nerves because of what he did for my Miami Heat. But, you know, again, the competitor in me would love to see Ja up against the Lakers so we knew or know what they could actually do. Celtics, Hawks, I don't have much hope there. Boston's a hell of a team. I said that at the beginning of the season. They are probably still the team I would be most fearful of my Heat matching up against, even though I know my Heat would play hard. Boston plays real hard. Philly, Brooklyn, they are on now. I don't know the score, but confident to say that Philly got that one in hand. New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Great game. I watched it with a Knicks fan, so I was slightly biased, but both he and I agree that Donovan Mitchell is that man. I must admit that I guess it was the end of last season when they started talking about him being traded. Where could he go? Miami came up. I was like, yeah, maybe, he good, but do I want him over Bam, Tyler, Jimmy? Yeah. Still not going to answer that question. But do I want him on my team? Yes. Do you want him on your team? Yes. I don't know where he's going to land. Craig's not here today. I know he don't like getting into the top who lists and the generation comparisons. That's fair. I don't know where Mitchell will land when it's all said and done. A lot of things will be dependent on that, whether he wins or whether he stays healthy. But for all intents and purposes, watching him play basketball, watching him get those points with ease, watching him lead his team, he's a bad boy. I may have to tell my son I have a new favorite player, but we'll see. We'll see. Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves, bit of a snoozer. Minnesota fought hard to get there, but they got some other things going on. So, let's see if they show up for a game or two. But from where I sit, that should be Denver easy. Clippers Suns is going to be fun. I'm torn. I don't know who to go for. I got reasons to cheer for the Clippers. I got reasons to cheer for the Suns. So at the end of the day, I'm looking for good basketball. And they delivered on that. And the Clippers came out victorious in Phoenix. So it's going to be interesting. Durant's a baller. Everybody's a baller. Everybody's a baller. I don't have a bone to pick with how anybody performed. Guess it was last night. Russ maybe missed a little bit more shots than they all would prefer, but he came, he showed up, he helped lead this team to victory. It'll be cool to see Paul George back out there if they can get all three of their stars on the court at the same time. But I expect that to be a Game 7 series for sure. All the other ones, you know, my Heat, for us to be as unfavored as we are, should, if it remains competitive, that'll go 7. Not sure if all the other ones will go to 7, maybe the Knicks, Cavs, but we'll see. But for my buck, the game of the weekend was Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. Oh my goodness. I have not seen a Kings game all season, I don't think. So to hear about them, to know that they were the number 2 seed in the playoffs, you know, I was very curious. I was very interested to see how it would all play out. And them boys bad. Fox, Monk manned up against the whole Warriors team. Steph showed up, Clay showed up, Draymond did his thing. So I think it was mano y mano, and the Kings came out on top. So we'll see if they're for real. Everybody said that might be the cupcake that, you know, Golden State needed to get there on solid grounding for another run at the championship. There are the theories that this will be their last chance at a championship. So I believe this game comes on tonight. So best believe after tonight's episode, I will be watching the Kings Warriors. I think that's my rundown. Joe Nitty will let me know if I missed anybody, but all that to say, I enjoyed the playoffs. I think it's going to be an excellent season of playoffs. I'm not a betting man, so I have no clue who is. I have no idea who's going to get there. I think there's multiple compelling storylines. Clearly, we see injuries matter because the Bucks without Giannis, the Grizzlies without Ja are not the same threat. So, you know, this point forward, I hope everybody can stay healthy, right? There's life, but it's too hard to call. I think we see Philly, Boston are for sure in the hunt. Milwaukee in the hunt. Golden State, Sacramento, Lakers, Denver, the Suns, the Clippers, all in the hunt, all capable of getting there. So if you're a basketball fan, cheers to you, because you're going to have a good time this playoff season. Are you entertained? I finally listened to, I won't say finally, because I did try before, but I am finally feeling Tyler, the Creator. Upon Uncle Craig's, or Brother Craig's, he's an uncle too now. So upon Craig's recommendation, I sucked it up, gave Tyler another try. Can't quote no lyrics, won't be able to name no songs just yet. I just sat back and took them in. Brother, all right. Brother, all right. Not sure, maybe I wasn't vibing with a particular album. I'm going to go back, but in the land of openness and imperfection and acknowledging mistakes and not letting the ego be the driver, the captain of my ship, I believe that I can openly and honestly say that I missed the boat when it came to Tyler, the Creator. And so I have some homework to do. Don't mean I'm going to like everything, but brother got lyrics, brother got skill. Give the brother his props. What have I been watching? So NBA playoffs, first of all, you had the play-in tournament with my Miami Heat, which, you know, I didn't want them to be in it. The fact that they were made me nervous. So I really haven't watched much television, Netflix, YouTube, anybody in the last week. Been watching basketball. That being said, I did see Justin Pearson of Tennessee speech after he was reinstated by Shelby County commissioners last week, Wednesday. I am no prophet. I am no teller of the future. I don't read palms, and I will not let you read mine. That being said, if Justin Pearson can stay out of trouble, we know things happen. If Justin Pearson deems it his desire, I believe he has what it takes to be the next, not the next, but a president of these United States. He is highly intelligent. He has a mastery of vocabulary, and he has a spirit that cares for people. He wants to do a good job. He wants to be all-inclusive. He wants fairness, justice, equality, safety. If you have not seen him, if you have not heard him, get on the internet. Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson, in my opinion, is that guy. And then still reading, falling upward. I learned in the most recent chapter about our shadow. We have our false self, we have our true self, a false self, and we have a shadow. So the last chapter I read talked about shadow. I'll share some tidbits on that when we get to Thoughts of Genius. But for right now, still reading Falling Upward by Richard Rohr, R-O-H-R. Great book. We'll give the full book report when book club completes it, which I think, if not this week, might be next week. So I'll have my book report ready soon. And with all of that, we'll take a break and be right back. This is Unsolicited Genius.
Listening to Unsolicited Genius. Unsolicited Genius.
Welcome back to Unsolicited Genius. Thank you for live audience for joining us live. For those who listening later, thank you for listening or watching at all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Joe Nitty's out there on TikTok. Did I miss somebody? I said Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Unsolicited Genius is everywhere. Carlton Ennis is almost everywhere. Brother Craig Lindo, almost everywhere. Uncle Mo, almost everywhere. If you know us, find us. If you want to find out more, shoot us a message. We're people too. We like to interact. We like to chat. We don't always get it right. So if you got thoughts, ideas, suggestions, please share. Shout out to the super producer, Joe Nitty. Thank you for helping me look much better than I would on my own. Love you, Playboy. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Legacy Wear, where your legacy awaits. You can find them at www.legacywearus.com. Special thanks to Megacore CBD. We'll have them on the show soon. Broad spectrum hemp-derived CBD, the way nature intended. www.megacorecbd.com. Special thanks to Aura Rainwater. We'll have them on at some point. You know, people be busy. I ain't mad. My feelings ain't hurt. Mantra, motto, hydrate and elevate. You can find out more about them at www.aurarainwater.com. And Carlton Ennis Coaching. Be your light. You can learn more about what I do in my day job at www.carltoninniss.com. So, thoughts of genius. I mentioned earlier point, falling upward, talked about the shadow, and in essence, doing some shadow boxing. What it means and all that, you may have to go ahead and make an appointment, www.carltoninnis.com, to get into all of it and how it might relate to you, your experience, your journey. But with what I understand, what I know, what I myself have experienced is that shadow is that part of you that you don't want people to see, that part of you that you think you're hiding, that part of you that you yourself may even fear. That part of you that sometimes doesn't come out until it's dark. But some of the clues that you can use as to what that shadow might be is other people tell you. So as much as you think you may hide, it reveals itself in those moments of intensity where the second clue as to what your shadow is, it reveals itself typically in an overreaction to a situation, person, place, or thing. So when everybody's chilling and you mad, or when everybody's happy and you're sad, or when a small thing creates a big reaction from you, in you, it is likely that your shadow has been activated. So what do? You shadow box, which means you allow yourself to meet heads up with this entity in you and take it to task. Win, lose, draw, it's an ongoing journey, ongoing experience with thy shadow. But when you choose, once you allow yourself to recognize it, when you make the choice to encounter it and decide that it is not the boss, that's you doing that work. Shadow is not you. It is a part of you. It came along and formed for some reason, probably driven and attached to ego. But the shadow is nothing to be ashamed of. The shadow is nothing to be afraid of. The shadow is nothing to be embarrassed of. It's you. And so when you understand you and you start to understand why your emotions go up and down, why you have those low lows, why you have those aggressive highs, when you spend time with understanding that energy, understanding those feelings, understanding those emotions, you start to learn control. You start to amplify the voice of your true self. So when the shadow wants to peek out, your true self can say, nah, go back in. We don't need you here anymore. So with that, my friends, you don't need a punching bag. to go shadow boxing. You just need courage. And courage is available to us all should we choose to seek it. And on that, it's been another episode of Unsolicited Genius. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to join us next week, same Genius time, same Genius channel. And for whenever you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
You are listening to Unsolicited Genius. Unsolicited Genius. Unsolicited Genius.
Craig D. Molat.
Unsolicited Genius.
You are listening to Unsolicited Genius.